Or from when I wrote JAM, I wanted to study mechanical engineering and all of that. And when you tell somebody you want to be an engineer, and you be like, what are you doing there? It's a man's course and all of that. But through determination and self-confidence, I was sure that this is what I wanted, and then I went for it. And by God's grace, now I'm about rounding up. So the ability to nurture and eventually employ social media leverage for business benefits. What that means is, after giving women opportunities, you have to give them or tell them that they have a leverage with social media to access business benefits. So how can women dream? Number one, have a no limit mindset and pass it on to your circle. Okay, by having a no limit mindset is that nothing can stop me. I have this belief that anything I set my mind to, I can do it. I have this belief that once I'm up for something, that thing has to work because I am right there. So apart from having a no limit mindset, you also feed your mind with fertile ideas. Like sometimes it's not just all about saying I can do it, I can do it. You have to find a sector or a platform that supports what you want to do. Okay, I wanted to be innovative. I wanted to change my world. I wanted to affect lives. And when I got to campus, I looked for an organization which was Enactors to join. And I joined Enactors from my 100 level, and in my 300 level, I was made a team leader. And by feeding myself with fertile ideas, I was able to interact with the world. I was able to get to places that normally, being just a mechanical engineering student, would not take me. I was able to access opportunities. I was a Ford Community Impact Fellow of 2020. You can check that up. Ford is always in partnership with Enactors, and they find ways of improving people's lives. They find ways of um, making sure that they give you opportunities. They find ways of funding your ideas and your business ventures. So number three, you surround yourself with a company of dreamers, purposeful individuals, or innovators in the field of interest. You can't say, okay, I want to be a doctor, and then you surround yourself with people that don't see you as a doctor, or with people that don't believe you can be a doctor. You have to surround yourself with, or maybe you find mentorship in other practicing doctors that will help you build that linkage from where you are to where you want to be. So you need to surround yourself with company of dreamers. As a woman, you need to be able to find your niche. You need to be able to find your circle and then flow with them. You know, there's a saying, show me your friend and I'll tell you you are. You can't be optimistic and then you're always people that are pessimistic. It's not going to work. So you need to surround yourself with people like yourself. Then number four, you mentor and you carry others along after you have liberated yourself. First of all, you need to find your voice. After finding your voice, you go ahead. Okay, I've left this level of where I was, and I'm actually I've gotten to where I want to be. So what you do now is you find a way of going back to where you came from, and you try to reach out to more women, more girls that are still there. And then you are like a live example to them that, okay, this thing you want to do is actually very possible. And then this is me. I'm a live testimony, and you have all the proof you need that you can achieve this thing. So the last point I have here is you stay hungry for knowledge. What do I mean? Okay, the fact that you have reached where you want to be doesn't mean you stop learning. You have to keep acquiring knowledge, and you have to keep growing. There's no limit to growth. You just have to keep growing and growing and growing, and then you get to see more and more opportunities. You get to get more ideas. You get to get more opportunities out there. So in empowering the girl child, in empowering the woman, there are skills that they can learn, right? The skills you can say creative writing, content making, hair making, makeup, body oil making, shoe making, programming, coding, digital marketing, software managers, and all that. I believe there is no particular skill that is supposed to be for a man, and there is no particular skill that It's supposed to be for a woman. So you see men today, they make hairs, they fix nails and all of that. So I believe a woman, once she sets her mind to it, she can actually code, she can actually program, she can actually do other things that are tagged men related. So first of all, if you want to get to these skills, like I said, you have to access opportunities. Like our mommy said, another problem we have is funding. After getting these opportunities, you have to look for maybe organizations or platforms that actually give funds. Like I mentioned, Ford, they do that a lot. They have so many numerous categories of learning processes that along the line you get to be funded, you get to go for workshops and all of that. So you have an idea, you write it down, you develop the idea, you do your research, you get basic things, and then you start out and you learn in the field. And always remember that there is no limit, there is no stop to learning. You have to keep learning and learning and learning. So thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Ms. Adiku. That was a great and fabulous one from you. I can see Mr. David clapping.
Can't really hear you.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Okay,
Hello.
now.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for that great exposition. And I will get back to you. I would love to go straight to the next panelist. Please stay around. We have a lot to discuss, and we hope that after this event, there will be a paradigm shift in our society. Thank you very much. So, I will go to Mr. Solomon Obadi. Hello, Mr. Solomon. Hello, Mr. Solomon. Okay. Hello, Mr. Solomon. Okay, it seems you can't hear me. Okay. Let me go straight to Mr. Isika. Hello, Mr. Isika. Hello.
Can
Yeah,
you hear
good
me?
morning. Yeah, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, thank
And
you
that
so much.
was a nice submission by Lois, and it's a great one.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we are so happy to have her with us, and also everyone with us today. We are so privileged and so straight to the point. Now, you as a youth, you are into empowering young persons to get employment and to be able to go around the do's and the don'ts on how to get employed, what employers need. So, can you throw more light on the things that employers really need that from employees to get employed?
Oh, thank you so much for that question. And but before going that, I would love to like run a bit background of my story. So I started into the recruitment and the jobs fair in early 2019. There, I was keen on getting an internship. I made a resume, 4-page resume. I applied to over 200 companies. Basically, none of these got back to me, and I was ghosted by her. I was discouraged because I felt I was not good enough. And coming from an underrepresented community, that is family, where I have no access to technology, having access to internet connection for learning purpose is something that is impossible. I have no access to a good smartphone or to a laptop. And these are the challenges which I faced even in 2019, and it was very alarming. But I turned this challenge into opportunities. And this is the first thing you should know for whoever is listening out there, that no matter the challenge you're facing, it depends on you to turn this into opportunities. Now, there will be challenges. Life is not the bed of roses. Life is not easy. Life is uneasy. But for you to strive and to overcome, you need to face this. So to summarize all, after this challenge, I decided to learn, to give it my try, utilize the little stipend which I have, that is 2,000 naira in a month, to for my data supply, and then to learn, okay, what and how to get it done. And in the space of a year, I grew my income from zero to over 500,000 naira in the space of a year. And then I'm able to empower other people. Just last week, someone who was underrepresented like myself, and after structural guidance and mentorship was able to get a gadget, a laptop, MacBook Pro worth over 1 million naira. And this is what we are talking about, becoming useful and retooling your skill to ensure your basic growth and community development. And that's what youth empowerment is about. So the first thing you need to know is accept you have a challenge if you really want to turn your challenge into an opportunity. Now, employers are rejecting candidates. This is a problem. If your resume is not getting out the door, if your CV is not getting out the door, if it's not passing through the first phase of the interview process, accept that you have a challenge. And then the next thing is to seek on how to resolve it. We have countless and thousands of information out there at your disposal. But what we do at YIEE is to provide structural guidance for you to ensure you have decent work. And most times when employer rejects candidates, it's because they can't see a fit. Yeah. An average job posting in top companies have over 300 applications per week. And that means you have 1 to 300 chance to get your resume seen. And this is just the reality out there. So if you're not getting accepted into company, the first thing is to re-strategize and go back to the process. Look at your resume. Your resume is simply a sales document. While speaking with my friend, a senior recruiter from Amazon, Amibila, she said something that your resume is simply your sales document. Resume is also called CV. Now, it's something that communicates your expertise. And I think the first speaker, she made mention of this in a brief. It's something that tells the employer that you are capable of the job. And most thing, what you need to look at even in job posting is simply the job description and the skill required, which is the basic requirement. Now, is your resume communicating this? Now, I applied for 200 jobs, but I was applying for jobs in agriculture, in digital technology, in programming, just anything I see. Once I see the job open, I shoot in my application. That is not the way to go about it. Ensure you apply for jobs you are qualified for, or you are 70% qualified for. When you do this, then the rate at which you receive rejection is going to reduce. Now, between 2009 and this time, for every 7 to 10 application I made, I get into the interview stage. Why? Because of this strategy which I share with you. Now, take this. An employer is recruiting because he or she has a problem. The problem, for example, if an employer is looking for a developer, let's say for a mobile developer, now he has a problem in developing the app. Now, what the employer is expecting is you have the skill, you're able to show the skill in your resume, and you're able to convince the employer that you are the best fit for this role. And once you can do that through your resume and your cover letter, you will get that job and be moved to the next phase. Okay, so this is just the major reason why employers reject employees mostly time, because those people are not qualified. So the knowledge which you should have is when next you're going to apply for a particular job, you must show the employer that you are qualified for the role. I will cite an example. I know someone who was a student and he had no skill. He was just learning web development as of that time, and he was looking for an internship even before the school internship. Then he shot in his application, and what he told his employer is, I'm a first-class graduate who is currently learning web development, and this shows that I will be able to excel in this role. This year makes the 2 years in the company, and the employer was having a conversation with him recently, and he said, what did you use to woo me there? It's because you're a first-class graduate and then you are learning a skill. So you should use your problem to your advantage. What I tell my employer is, I'm an underrepresented person who has no access to technology, who was unable to provide basic need for his data support. And then in the space of a year, in the space of 2 years, I'm able to accumulate to this certain amount and able to add so and so value to the organization. And that gets me at the door. So I'm going to ask you this question. What is your challenge which you've overcome? That is what we call your competitive strategy. What is your competitive strategy as the job seeker? You should find your uniqueness and then use it to get your next job. Okay. So in summation of everything, we are currently developing a platform for those who are underrepresented, unable to provide ethical support called Personalize, to help youths learn and access on-demand courses and skills even without internet. And I hope to carry Victor out even when this product is being released. And once again, thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope I'm able to impact one value or the other to you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. We'll keep in touch and we'll make sure that everything falls in place. Thank you very, very much. You've spoken elaborately, and before I will come back to you, I would love to reach out to Mr. Solomon Obaji. Yes, hello, Mr. Solomon. Hello. Good morning, sir. Hello, Mr. Solomon. Hello. Okay. I think I will chat him up, and then while we are waiting back, I will go to Mr. David. Hello, Mr. David. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. And so you just heard Mr. Emmanuel, and he has spoken elaborately on youth employment, why young people get rejected by employers. Now, we want to shift a bit into the business area. Now, how can young people thrive? How can young people thrive in an environment that is with limited availability of job opportunities? How can they thrive despite the limitations in few job opportunities we have in our society?
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much. Victor, let me start by saying you did a proper setup for me. How can you put me in the same room with Emmanuel and Sika? I mean, Chi Okafor and the prof herself. This is a setup. Thank you so much, guys. Emmy, Twali. Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you, Louis. I mean, you guys are phenomenal. I'm listening to this and I'm watching you guys and I'm inspired. I'm inspired because we live in an environment where a lot of people are no longer prioritizing knowledge. They prioritize lifestyles, social medias, a whole lot of the things that come with the packaging, you know. So to find young people who are passionate, I mean, you did 10,000, we should be talking partnership here. Man, I'm excited at the work that is being done and the things I'm hearing. Just to move quickly into this subject matter of discourse, I like to say that I was born in an average family. I didn't know my dad. My dad died 3 weeks after I was born. So I learned to be a man before learning to be a child, because I mean, from age 8, I had to sort out feeding in my house. So that happened, and it became my process. And through that journey of, you know, hawking on the street, marketing, doing stuff, I had realized that there was more to life than the fancies and the frenzies, you know, all of the jamboreens. And you see, for us to really talk about this, I'm quite passionate about this subject matter. So passionate that I have to just pen down a few things so I stay within the course, because I can talk about this for the next 3 hours and I'm just getting started. First, I want to talk about is we have a big problem in Africa. We have a very big problem. And that problem lies in 2 things. One is leadership. 2 is economy. You see, it was Miles Monroe who said, everything rises and falls on leadership. Because if the right direction is not put in place for people to follow, you are sure mistakes will happen. So how do the young African deal with this pre-existing circumstance? Number one is you've got to understand your history. What is our history in Africa? Because in our history lies what our problem is. So you've got to understand our history. You've got to understand the problem on ground. You see, when we talk about businesses, when we talk about endeavors, services, products, when people want to do all of that, the first thing you have to identify is what is the problem? Because you can't upscale if you don't know the problem, right? So Africans have to sit down and visit our history. Listen to people who are sound. For instance, we have Patrick Lumbania. We have a whole lot of people, right? It's funny, haven't you thought of it, fellow panelists, that we don't even have a common history. People debate our histories, even among our elites. You hear when someone writes a book in direction to your history, someone else counters. I am wondering, is this not supposed to be our sovereign history? So first is let's understand the problem. There's a leadership problem, there's an economic problem. As much as that's the problem, like a businessman, your greatest opportunity are problems. This is why for people like me, I believe the profit lies here more. The profit lies in Africa, much more than anywhere in the world. And the reason is because the problems are here. Number two, because I don't want to be labeled that, will be invest in developing yourself. You see, the word learn has an L, then it has an EARN. When you take away the word L, you have an N. What you can earn, the difference you can make, the value you can get is tied to how much you have learned. Your results are directly proportional to your learning process. Whatever you have, whatever results you've amounted to is directly proportional to the level of knowledge, the level of learning process you've engendered. So as such, people must prioritize reading. I wish I could show you around my room. My greatest investment are books. And for some people, they might be struggling with reading books. And I hear a lot of people in my generation, I can't read a book of 300 pages. I can't read a book of 200 pages. But you want to earn 200 million. So they need to understand that wherever knowledge lies, there you should go. Should we talk about seminars? Should we talk about YouTube videos? Personally, every month I consume 40 gigabytes of data. And these days it's now 3 weeks. Because there is a download of information, there's a mind reset that's happening because the circumstance in our country and in our continent is such that if you do not make up your mind to learn and do something about it, you just become a victim of the rat race. You just follow the trend. And it won't occur to you on time. You just follow the trend. I mean, a few days ago, I saw a man probably he should be at his 70s or more. He was begging on the street. Now, not even a northerner, begging on the street, and I keep asking myself, what was he doing when he was young? So people must understand that we must learn consequently to any progress we desire to have in our lives. We must improve on knowledge, because if that is not done, then we will only repeat the rat race. Let me also talk about, very, very, very profound statement from the professor about funding. Let me explain something about funding, because that's the space where I operate. I've been able to raise $54,000 from Canadian International Development Agency for a couple of companies. I had time with me to go into that. But let me say something about funding. You see, the mindset towards any agenda that will be progressive in Nigeria and in Africa has to come from the mindset of your 0 to 1, an entrepreneurship mindset. What is the concept of the 0 to 1? The 0 to 1 simply means, what do you have now that can get you the things you need without money? What skills do you have? What leverage system do you have? Where have you volunteered? What is your character and formation? What's your personality before people? How do people see you? What's people's perception about you? Who are the people in your network? Who do you move with? These things are greater funding opportunities than there is with a company giving you funding. So you have your 0 to 1. For instance, let's take for instance, someone who wants to do POS shouldn't be asking me for money to learn how to do POS. It's expected that such a person should have learned how to run a POS business, probably must have served somebody, or get into that space, at least must have operated something, a track record, something just to show that this person, when giving this thing, is capable. Or someone comes to me and say, oh, she wants to buy a farm and she needs loan to buy a farm so that she can have a poultry and run a business. To be very sincere, I won't give you the money. You don't have experience, you've never run it before, it's your first time, and you need a hell of money to do that. No, I'll start with you from selling eggs. Then if you can sell eggs and make up to 200,000 naira in a month, I'll probably upscale you, give you the best.
It's frozen.
We must understand track records. We must understand that there is process through our successes, and we must enjoy the journey. Thirdly is there's a need to understand delayed gratification. There's a lot happening in our society that is crazy. You meet a lot of people who are doing scam from Yahoo to a whole lot of things. And you're asking yourself, why does an 18-year-old boy wants to have the results of a 65-year-old man in 1 week? It's a major problem. We need to go back to the drawing board to understand that there is seed time and there is harvest, like the Holy Scriptures tells us. There is seed time and harvest. And until this process takes place, nothing matures for harvest. Nothing matures. So people need to understand that. People need to understand that so they are able to position properly. I think I'm trying just to round up. Finally, it's learn to volunteer. We had an event just last week where we had about 500 persons, young people. We transported them to Metama, Abuja, funded everything, did what we had to do. And that was just me volunteering. I spent over 100K of my money for someone else's event because I've learned to volunteer. I was part of I Create Africa, the biggest skill festival in Africa, Emerging Leaders Conference. I can go on and on and on things I've done in my track record, more than 15 stuff. What about certificates, learning online, short courses, positioning myself, renewing my mind, positioning that way. Maybe I'll just add finally, character. You know, growing up, my mom said to me, she said, David, I might have not had the best resources to raise you with, but one thing I know we've raised you with is a good character. Mr. Nsika, you agree with me that no matter where you go in the world, one thing is constant, your character. Anywhere, in Africa, in America, in Russia, anywhere, your character is what distinguishes you. So back to the issue of perceptions. Victor is having every one of us here because somehow it's a leverage. I don't think it's cheap to have someone like Mr. Solomon Ogbaji. I think he should be watching the screen making some money, right? But there's leverage. And this is important for us, that people build the right character. A lot of Africans are not loyal. They are not loyal. They don't understand loyalty. They don't understand commitment. Mr. Isaac could probably tell us, people coming for jobs, they want to be employed for jobs, and they have their conditions, and they are not even skillful enough. So these are things that we must address. I like dealing with the internal because something about the internal has a way of fixing the external. We understand that we have almost a failed system in Africa. We understand there's a lot of limitation in Africa, but the first priority is the internal limitations. Because Mr. Nseka is doing what he's doing. I mean, Mr. Solomon is doing what he's doing. Victor is doing what he's doing, right? Chi Okafor is doing what she's doing. Prof is doing what she's doing. They are doing these things in spite of these limitations. That's not to say we are oblivious of this reality, but it's to state clearly that if people prevail in the storm, then we must take an ego mindset, such that the storm is where we soar. So we don't cower, we don't run back because of the storm. So I believe very strongly that if we can do these things, we are set for the top. Africans youth need to learn skills, not just any skills, high income skills that are problem solving. They have to be problem solving. Then a lot of people are scared of failure. I mean, Mr. Nseka just told us 200 CVs, 200 companies. I probably had given up at 10. Probably had given up. We must master the act of failing forward. We must master the act of failing forward. We must master the act to understand that, listen, I'm going to make mistakes, no doubt. That is the seal of my humanity. But that will be a lesson for mounting on. It will be a lesson for moving on. Let me finish my presentation by this quote I wrote down. It's a quote by Milan Lewis. He said, love yourself enough to have a meaningful life. Probably love your family, love your country, love your continent enough to live a meaningful and an impactful life. I believe if we begin to prioritize these things that are best internal, we will have the grounds by which we can sustain a better continent. Remember that the continent is a composition of the quality of people in it. How great a country is directly proportional to the quality of people that are in it. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. David. That was an amazing one from your end. I'm so grateful for that great exposition. And I will move straight to Mr. Solomon Obaji. Please, Mr. David, I will come back to you. Although we are running out of time, but just bear with us, we'll soon be done. We still have a major session which needs to be handled, and that will come from Mr. Solomon Obaji. Hello, Mr. Solomon.
Hello, good afternoon, Victor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Everyone.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. I'm so glad that despite the network issues, you took your time to stay around. Like David said, if it was on a normal ground, we would have been paying you thousands of or millions of naira just to have you on our platform. But it's a great privilege having everyone around, professor around, even you around. We are so grateful. And so straight to the point. Now, as a crypto expert, as someone that is into cryptocurrency, for the benefit of those that are listening to you and those that will listen to this video via YouTube or any social media platform, can you give us some insights about what exactly is this cryptocurrency and how can young people take advantage of this for their benefit and for the benefit of the society? You get the question?
Well, thank you so much, Victor, for this opportunity. I'll just go straight to the point. I'm very brief because of our time. Okay, cryptocurrency is no longer new. Okay, even if we have so many persons who don't know yet about cryptocurrency, but I am excited at the way and manner people all over the world getting involved with the public figures, pastors, politicians, young people, old people. Cryptocurrency is one sphere that cuts across all religion, all denomination, every people are becoming more knowledgeable about cryptocurrency. For just a clear explanation, cryptocurrency is a digital currency. Okay, just the same way you have your money in the bank, your fiat currency. That's how we have currencies that are digital. They are not physical. You can't see them, you can't touch them, you can't handle them, but then they fulfill the same purpose that money fulfills. Okay, we recall that money has been evolving over time. All right, back in the days of our forefathers, our ancestors, there were different forms of money. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
There were different forms of money, from the trade by barter system to the precious metals, to gold, and then to the current fiat system that we use right now. That is how we are gradually evolving from this fiat system to cryptocurrency. Okay, right now you must not handle physical money for you to make transactions. Okay, the world is evolving. Now, I am really passionate about getting people to come into cryptocurrency, not just as an investment, but as a mode of transaction. Okay, right now we have places in this country where businesses accept cryptocurrency as a mode of payment. If you go to ShopRite across Nigeria and big shopping malls in this country, you can pay for items with cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency is money, but then is digital currency. It can only be used on the internet with your smartphone. Now, one amazing thing about cryptocurrency is that it is not controlled by the government. All right. Every local currency, every fiat currency is controlled and regulated by the government and by government policies. But cryptocurrency is not controlled, it's not regulated by government. It simply obeys the principles of demand and supply, which makes it volatile. All right. What I mean by that is, as people buy the idea and imbibe the idea of cryptocurrencies, it increases the value of cryptocurrency. All right. The first cryptocurrency that came into existence in 2009 is called Bitcoin. And so many people know about Bitcoin just as a name, okay, but they don't really know what Bitcoin is. All right. It's the first cryptocurrency that came into existence. Cryptocurrencies are volatile because of the law of demand and supply. All right. As people get involved in it, it increases the value. All right. Let me just give you a very simple explanation that is easy to understand. For example, Bitcoin, when Bitcoin started in 2009, I got to know about Bitcoin in 2014 when I got into the university. As at that time, one Bitcoin, the value of one Bitcoin was around 500 naira, 600 naira. All right. But as I speak to you today, right now, the value of one Bitcoin is going for about $62,000. All right. So people buy this currency when the value is low. And then as time goes on, the value increases over time. And then they make profits on cryptocurrency. Now, I'm talking about how young people can empower themselves with cryptocurrency. There are so many ways to leverage on the crypto space and generate profit for yourself. And before I get into that, young people all over the world, especially in our country, Nigeria here, are doing amazing things with cryptocurrency. I mean, I've seen people change their lives. I've seen people move from point A to point B. I've seen people transform their financial life with cryptocurrency. All right. So there are so many ways. I mean, so many ways. Up till today, you can't discover all of the ways to make money because cryptocurrency is so vast. All right. Now, I'll just give a few ways that people can benefit, young people can empower themselves and make money from cryptocurrency. The first, which is the simplest and most basic way of earning in cryptocurrency, is buying the currency and holding. All right. That is the first and simplest way to earn in cryptocurrency. All right. You have a specific amount, say 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira, 30,000 naira, 100,000 naira, 1 million naira, 20 million naira. You buy a coin, okay, when the value is low, and then you hold and exercise patience. You wait for the value to go up. All right. When the value go up, you can sell that coin, and you've gotten some profit for yourself. Okay. But of course, the profit you get is dependent upon the capital you invest into that coin. Now, before I continue, I'd like to say that before you get into cryptocurrency, one thing you need is knowledge. Most young people, they just see cryptocurrency doing well, and then they get into it without any knowledge, without any guide, without any coaching, and they lose so much money, okay? Or they lose their money simply because they come into the market, they come into the system without knowledge. In cryptocurrency, you must not be guided by greed. Most people are guided by greed, and then they lose monies. Okay, so the simplest and basic way you can benefit from cryptocurrency is to buy a coin and exercise patience, wait for that coin to add value, and then you've gotten your profit. Sometimes the reverse can be the case. You can purchase a coin and the value starts going down. Whenever a thing like that happens, what you're expected to do, if you have invested in a good project, all right, there are so many scams out there, so many fake coins, so many dubious things happening even in the crypto world. So that's why you need to be guided. If you're investing in a good project and you put your money in a coin and the value is going down, what you're supposed to do is just to exercise patience. Just like every other financial market, when the market goes down, it's going to go up again. It goes down, it's going to go up again. So that's exactly how cryptocurrency works. Okay. Now, another way you can make money from cryptocurrency is what we call smart contracts. Okay. What we call network marketing. Just the way we have network marketing companies that promote physical products that we can see, companies like Longreach, companies like Superlife, companies like Recharge and Get Paid, these are network marketing companies that promote their products via networking. That's how we have companies too in the crypto space where you network to earn cryptocurrency. Now, I got into one last year, very popular crypto platform called Forsage, and in a space of 6 months, I was able to generate so much income. I don't want to mention figures here, but it's going to blow your mind what I was able to generate from that smart contract platform because of network marketing, because of leverage. Okay, so people who really want to, who feel that they can connect with other people, they can teach other people, they can find a good smart contract, a good crypto network marketing business and plug into it. Now, one advantage of smart contract is that you can start with small capital, okay? And because of the leverage, because of the compensation plan, over time, if you build a good and a strong network, if you learn, if you connect with a mentor, if you subscribe to mentorship programs, I tell you, you can generate so much income for yourself, okay? And then we have what we call airdrops, all right? Airdrops are coins, okay, or cryptocurrencies that have not been launched into the market yet, okay? So, but then some quantity of that coin is being distributed for free just to promote the coin before it is launched, okay? So when the coin gets launched into the market, it now has value, all right? So that's one way to people can benefit from the crypto space, okay? So because of our time, I'll just stop here because there are so many ways, like I said, so many ways to benefit from cryptocurrency. But I like to lay emphasis on the fact that you're coming into cryptocurrency. Crypto is not a get-rich-quick scheme, all right? You have to apply yourself to knowledge. You have to seek knowledge. You have to be patient. You must not be guided by greed, all right? You have to be mentally tough, okay? And then you have to belong to a community where people are discussing crypto. One very, very important factor to benefiting maximally in the crypto space is information. Just one information that you get from a community, from somebody in the space can, shift your earning potential to another whole level. So there's so much to this crypto thing, but this is just like, a quick summary of what cryptocurrency is and how people can benefit from cryptocurrency. And I really encourage